story. After months of collecting recall petitions and weeks of political ads, the day is finally here.
Voters casting their ballots in a historic recall election. They start in just a few hours. Angelica Duria live in downtown Milwaukee with what you need to know. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. And with this being the first recall election involving a sitting governor here in the state of Wisconsin and only the third time in our nation's history, all eyes will be watching this race closely. And the outcome of this race could really boil down to exactly how many people turn out to the polls today. About 2.8 million people in Wisconsin could cast their ballots for the recall election today. The the Government Accountability Board expects turnout to be even higher than it was for the 2010 gubernatorial election when Scott Walker and Tom Barrett went head-to-head for the first time. They're expecting between a 60 to 65% turnout for today's election, and that is close to the numbers that turned out to the polls in the 2008 presidential election. Already more than 206,000 absentee ballots have been requested across the state, and election clerks say they're prepped for the big crowds. They've called in extra staff to make sure that they are ready for this historic day.
In 2010, we received just over 14,000 absentee ballots. For this election, we're up to about 18,800. And if you consider the fact that we only had a 2-week period this time, and the last time it was over 3 weeks, so the interest is there.
Now, here are a few reminders before heading out to the polls. You do not need a photo ID to vote. If you do plan on voting absentee, it must be postmarked in the mail by today to be received by the clerks by 4 p.m. on Friday. At the polls, if you do run into any problems, you can call the Wisconsin Election Protection Hotline at 1-866-OUR-VOTE to report them. And the Attorney General's office also plans to have special agents at the polls across the state to ensure that voting rights are protected. Again, the polls open at 7 this morning, so 2 hours from now, and they will run until 8 o'clock tonight. Reporting live in downtown Milwaukee, Angelica Duria, Fox 6 News.
Angelica, thanks. It's 5:03.